Okay, shows that we're live. So I think okay. You guys, we're still trying to figure this out.
Yeah, have some patience. Gosh, guys. And plus, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
stop.
post it on.
Get off our back. Okay. I think I did it. I think I did it, Brie. Aren't you proud of me?
Yes, I'm so proud of you. Sorry,
She's so proud of me, you
I'm
guys.
so proud of you. I'm always proud of you.
I'm always
You're
proud
so
of you too.
wonderful.
Thank you.
I'm just posting on social media that we are live.
You're my best friend.
You're my best friend.
Aw,
Seriously, like you're just the bomb, buddy.
I literally miss you. How's your head?
It's so much better. Oh my god. So like yesterday we went out on the boat and um you know, I had a couple drinks. I didn't have like an excessive amount of drinks. I had like 2. And freaking I think that between having alcohol and nothing to eat and then the
The
sun
sun?
and just also I didn't have a coffee yesterday, so it's like the first day in like a month and with not having caffeine
Are,
and I just
are you
had
doing
this
that on
raging
purpose?
headache. No, God, no. No, we woke up and we're like, "Oh crap, it's sunny outside. We need to go." So we just like
Oh,
ran out the door as quick as we could because we were like trying to take advantage of daylight
yeah,
because we've been having like finicky weather and companies in
yeah.
town, and we want to be on the boat because
I don't blame
it's
them.
fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, that's good.
but it's good now. I woke up this morning and I was like, "Thank God." Oh God. Hopefully my
Um,
mic's not
s-
disconnected.
talk.
Yo,
It
yo
sounds like
ho,
you're
yo
just
ho, the
sitting there with
pirates
your
like.
mic. It's like shaking. It goes.
All right, all right. I need to. I need to quit moving it. Then is that better?
Yeah, yeah. Just don't touch it.
Okay,
Um,
I'm
hi
holding it.
guys. We are
Hey
live.
guys,
How
what's
how
up?
is it? What is
How's
up?
it going? How's it
Oh, maybe
going?
we shouldn't be
Where
so
are you?
boring.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. So thanks asshole YouTuber who was like I got through like 52 seconds and I got a headache.
I'm literally
Okay, you're
so bored.
boring. Dude, you
Excuse
don't
me?
even know. Or
You don't
ma'am, I
even
don't
know
know. I don't
us.
know. I don't care. Yeah, you
Literally
go
don't
off. I
care.
don't want you listening to our page if
Yeah.
you only
Good
gave us
thing.
52 seconds of a chance. Who
Yeah.
listens to 52 seconds of a podcast to give them a chance? I listen to at
Not
least like
me.
2, maybe 3 episodes.
Yeah. And I don't
Like,
listen
come on,
to the
man.
first ones.
You
I
suck.
listen to ones that's like one of their like ones in the middle. If you're trying out a new
Yeah,
podcast,
yeah,
you
yeah.
don't
Because
go to
the
the
first
first
one, like,
one.
you're just starting.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You give them like you go in
We
like a
still don't know what we're
couple
doing half the time.
dozen episodes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so I have a
Stupid.
question for you. Oh
Go for it.
my gosh. Oh, I was like, where's my question? Okay, I found it. Normally it's in smaller font than the rest of my stuff, but like I switched it, so it was like larger. So that was
Oh,
weird.
threw you
Okay,
off there, buddy.
yeah. So have you ever done the whole fake it till you make it, or pretended to be somebody you're not?
Fake it till you make it. I mean, yeah, like whenever you're having a bad day at work or something and you're like, if I'm negative, I'm gonna like make everyone else negative, which is gonna make me
Hmm.
more negative.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be like positive and fake it till I make it. We used to say that a lot on really bad days at one of my jobs. And I was always like, I always pepped everybody up. I was always like very positive.
You are a
But
hype
like on
girl.
really
Yeah.
bad days, I'd be like, man, just fake it till you make it. We got this. We got this. But I mean, I've never been someone who I'm not. I've always been myself, and usually I scare away people because I'm weird. But it's cool. It's good.
It's all right. It's whatever.
What about
Okay.
you? Have you? Are you really Amy Westmoreland?
Who am I? Do,
Who
do,
is
do,
she?
do, 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 do. I'm sure I have done the fake it till you make it thing. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't know.
Just being an adult and going
Being
through
an
like crap.
adult,
Like I feel like every adult has to fake it till you make it.
yeah.
Especially like whenever you have kids and you're like, oh my god, I just have to get through this for my kids.
Also, uh, okay, I feel like I get imposter syndrome often. You know,
What's that?
like you feel like you're not who you should be, like in a job. Like you're like, I don't feel like I'm
Oh,
qualified for this. You know,
and you like
I get
need to
that
like rediscover yourself or something.
kind of, but like you are qualified. Like you have the skills. You do qualify for the job or the task that you're doing, but you don't feel like it. Does that make sense? Like I
Okay.
get
Okay.
like I don't get it a whole lot at work. I get it more at like everyday things like owning a home. Like me I me like or like being a parent, like I'm responsible for this whole other human being. That sort of stuff. I don't know.
It's okay
That's
if you do. I just hope that like a doctor or like a brain surgeon doesn't ever just randomly
yeah,
like in the middle of a surgery and is like, I shouldn't be doing this job. I don't think I'm
yeah.
qualified to do
I bet they
this.
do though. I bet they
Somebody's life
do.
is literally in my hands right
Yeah,
now. Yeah,
that's
probably so. They probably just
terrifying.
like in the middle of like surgery, they're probably just like have like a realization like, "Oh my god, I literally have responsibility of this person's life."
Yeah, that's terrifying, my dude.
One flinch and this guy's dead.
I hope I don't mess up
That's
or
stressful.
sneeze. Ugh.
That is stressful. Hey, did you check out that book or that story that I told you
I,
about?
no, not yet.
The one about I can't remember her name. Oh, it's a terrible story. It's a really good book. The book's called if you guys are interested in reading it, it's called If You Tell. It's a really good book, but it's a true crime story. It's a true story. But anyway, yeah, If You Tell. It's on Audible. Check
I've
it out.
been very busy this last one day since you told me.
This last one day.
Well, you told me, I think it was like on a Friday or something, or maybe it was Thursday you told me, and like I haven't had a chance to listen to anything at work early.
Oh
It's
yeah,
been
because I
kind of
just finished
stressful.
it.
Yeah, and then I don't listen to it
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that on the weekends. So,
right.
wow.
It's
Who
cool.
is going first this week?
Wow.
Can I go first?
You go first. Wait, no, I want to go
Okay.
first.
Okay, you
Can I
go
go first?
first. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I have
White
a really good.
fruit.
Honestly, I didn't care. I am excited to share with you my story, but I'm also equally excited to share with you my hometown neighborhood story. Not hometown horror, my neighborhood
Ours.
story. My
Oh
neighborhood
yeah.
story. Okay.
All right.
So this is a I don't know what it is, but it's on something and it's
Fair.
I don't know. So what it is, like someone like clipped things and like put it into a collage. So I don't know where it came from exactly. Does that make sense? Okay.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
it's an ad for like a cat, almost like at a local shelter. And so it's a photo of a cat in a kennel, and the name or the description of the cat is domestic short haired, adult, female, small, tabby, brown / chocolate. Her name is Casey Anthony.
Oh.
It says, meet Casey Anthony. Okay, hear me out. Casey Anthony is a healthy, happy 1.5-year-old girl. Yes, she is named Casey Anthony. So I'm sure we have some valid questions. I'm sure we have valid questions. The truth is that she had a litter of 4 kittens when she came into our rescue and seemed like a very fit and attractive mom until she was not. One day, we entered our holding space to find one of her kittens without a head. After she observed our shock and horror, she resumed gnawing on her deceased baby's neck. I'm aware
Oh
that
no.
probably does not make her very adoptable, but honestly, shit happens. Casey finished raising her other babies with no incident and has been completely fine since getting spayed.
What the fuck? What? Accurate name. Accurate name. That's fair. What? What? Is that a thing? Would a cat ever do that? Like, is that something that a cat would do for a reason?
To get
What if it was like diseased?
Sick, yeah, if it was sick and it's like trying to hide, like the baby's gonna die anyway, so she's like trying to hide that it's sick from predators, so it doesn't go after her other.
It's like an instinct. What the hell? Oh my god! Crazy Anthony. Also, you're a piece of shit. Just saying. Anyway, oh my god.
Could you imagine the horror? Oh gosh.
That's hilarious. That was a great story. Great story. Great one. Nice.
Thank you.
Might be my new favorite neighborhood story you've shared. All right, so
I'm so excited
this
to
week
hear your story.
I'm coming at everybody to ruin their childhoods and just, ruin your entertainment.
You don't have to.
I don't know. So I am going to go over conspiracy theories regarding TV shows and movies.
How fun.
So there are so many about so many different ones. So maybe I'll do these every once in a while. You're good.
Sorry.
Maybe I'll do one of these. Shut up. Who is interrupting me? Is it Rick?
Our emails.
Oh.
I went to go turn it off. I went to go turn off the sound and then like
oh my god, we have so many people on right now. I'm just kidding. My mom.
Is my mom watching?
I don't know. I can't tell. You're on the live. You can is there anybody?
Am I on the live?
Not. Sorry. Did you tell your mom that we're gonna go live?
Oh. I'll text her right now.
Candy? Remember, she was upset last time.
Yeah.
Although I did post it on the group and on the page.
Well, they're camping right now.
Everyone.
So they might not have service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
That's what I was trying to check.
So there's Oh, okay. So there's like so many different conspiracy theories about different TV shows and movies. I'm sure we've heard quite a few of them. I'm sure you're going to hear some. You've heard some of the ones that I'm going to go over tonight, but maybe I'll share some more another time. I only wanted to get, it's a Patreon episode. It's not going to be super huge. So since we're live. So the first one I'm going to go over is Grease. We were big Grease fans growing up. We watched Grease like a billion times. So at the end of the movie, Danny Zuko and Sandy Olsen fly off in a red convertible as they wave goodbye to their friends on the solid ground below, leading to the conclusion that the flying car was the final result of Sandy's fantasy.
Yeah.
As in, she's dead. So during the song Summer Nights, Danny and Sandy, I'm not going to sing on here, recount how they first met. It started as a summer fling. The line, "I saved her life, she nearly drowned," suggests that Sandy actually did drown, and the whole movie is an elaborate musical fantasy due to the lack of oxygen getting to her brain. The
Oh
flying
my
red
gosh.
convertible also suggests that Sandy is happily being whisked away to heaven at the end of the movie.
No.
Are you sad? A little bit sad now?
No, not really.
Okay.
That's a good
So
one.
this one is, I've heard this one before. I'm pretty sure you've heard this one before because I think we've discussed this one, but it's really f***ed up. So I wanted to talk about it. Rugrats.
Okay.
So this
Oh,
one is called the
yeah.
Rugrats Never Happened theory. So there's a theory out there that says none of the babies in Rugrats actually existed, but they're all instead figments of Angelica's imagination. As a
Yeah.
result of her parents' negligence, Chucky died with his mother, which explains how much of a nervous wreck his father is. Tommy was a stillborn baby, which explains why his father Stu was always in the basement making toys for the son that they never had. That's so
Oh
sad.
boy.
Finally,
That's so
the
sad.
DeVilles had an abortion,
Yep.
and to compensate for not knowing the sex of the baby, and that they compensated for not knowing the sex of the baby, so that's why they had a boy and a girl. Phil no, and Angelica
Okay.
invented twins in her head, one boy, one girl,
Okay.
and that is the Rugrats one.
Okay.
I've got a Scooby Doo on here. I was a big Scooby Doo fan.
Yep.
The cartoon mystery franchise Scooby Doo never really explained why a ragtag group of 4 dissimilar teenagers decided to travel in a van to no known destinations. So a fan developed an origin story theory. As the show premiered in 1969, the same year the Vietnam War was at its height, the Scooby Doo gang is driving to Canada to escape the draft. The theory posts that it's a clean-cut Fred was drafted, but ran away to be with his fiancee Daphne, while hippie Shaggy and activist Velma joined them as they both opposed the war themselves. Okay. Next
I don't like
one.
that one. And
Yeah,
just
I don't know.
because it
Could
sounds
be. I don't
not
know.
it's not
Like, why are they
it's not-
looking? Why are they looking for monsters and ghosts? It's
'cause
too
they're
real.
ghost hunters. It's like, you know,
But why does that have to do with anything with running away from the war? Like, I don't get it. Okay,
I
so
don't
this next
know.
one is Disney Finding Nemo.
Oh.
So I'm sure you've heard this one before. In Latin, Nemo translates to no one.
Yeah,
The
I've heard this
theory,
one.
which is what helped this theory, in the theory is that Marlin's son doesn't actually exist in Finding Nemo, but is just an invention he uses to cope with the death of his wife. We see Marlin go through the 5 stages of grief in the film. First,
Right.
denial, when he invents Nemo's egg after the rest of his family is killed. Second, anger, as he freaks out whenever Nemo is too far away from him. Third, bargaining, as he convinces Dory to join him on his quest
That's so sad.
puts up with her. Fourth, despair, when he sees Nemo flush down the toilet. And finally, acceptance, as he is able to let Nemo go off on his own in the end. But to add to this, I just saw this on TikTok. A TikToker discussed this theory, but took it up a notch. They said
Okay.
that looking into clownfish often eat their own eggs.
Ah!
So, in the first few minutes of the movie, we see Happy Marlin and his wife Coral tending to their eggs. Moments later, things are thrown in disarray, and it appears that a barracuda has eaten both Coral and the eggs, minus 1 damage egg. The user went on to say that upon research, barracudas do not eat clownfish or clownfish eggs. So, as theory goes, Marlin was so stricken by grief that he hallucinated the existence of his son, and basically goes into the whole theory, except instead of the child never or getting eaten and all the eggs getting eaten and Nemo never living, the Coral ate all of them. Not the barracuda.
That one's so sad.
Freaked
You have to say what
I know. It's depressing.
But it tracks.
Okay, this one's my favorite.
Okay.
This one's my favorite.
Okay.
Abracadabra.
Oh boy.
Okay, so J.K. Rowling has stated
Uh-huh.
that she based the name of the Killing Curse in the Harry Potter series on the harmless words every magician loves to use, abracadabra. Isn't that funny? Avada Kedavra, abracadabra. I've always wondered that, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh no way, that's actually a thing. So fans have circulated many theories about this link. Some say that the word's widespread use among muggles is a sad relic, meaning that the wizards would often attack and kill muggles before the two words were separated. More optimistic fans, though, recall the spell casting rule that the power of the spell comes from its intention. These fans theorize that the killing curse could also have been used to kill bacteria or viruses in the human body, thus making it a healing spell and changing the intention and not killing. But I think wizards were originally killing muggles, and people were just being like, oh my god, they said abracadabra. No, they said Avada Kedavra.
Avada Kedavra.
Avada Kedavra.
I always thought they were
Okay.
saying abracadabra. Not gonna lie.
Avada Kedavra.
Avada Kedavra.
Even like today, like always. Are you just now learning that they say Avada Kedavra?
Yes.
Oh my gosh! Even Charlotte and Natalie know the.
Well, I don't know what they mean.
Do you know Charlotte said she liked Harry Potter? Josh at the table tonight asked Charlotte. He's like, "Do you like Harry Potter or Star Wars more?" And she's like, "I like Harry Potter more." And I was like, "That's my baby.
That's my baby.
Proud.
I'm so proud of her.
That's my baby."
I mean, honestly, it's way more.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to track than at Star Wars.
It is. Yeah, I mean, they're basically kind of the same story. I mean, a guy gets picked up by, like who has a terrible home life and,
Yeah,
is sent off to do like magic
it's okay,
and is
but
really powerful and has to defeat a really powerful person
like,
who's going to take over the world or galaxy.
But for real, if you
J.K.
have
Rowling
to
kind of ripped
read,
off Star Wars.
if you have to read like a novel before the whole story, the movie starts, is it a good movie?
Wait, are you suggesting that Harry Potter is not a good movie?
No, I'm saying if you have to, no, I'm saying if you have to read a whole novel before the movie even starts, is it even a good movie? Like Star Wars, it has the little script that you have to read to know what's going
if you have to
on.
read a book. I thought you were saying if
No.
you have to read a book before seeing a movie, then it's not a good franchise or a good movie.
No,
I'm like, well, you have
this
to read
is
Harry Potter.
No, this is Star Wars. Like you have to read
I see.
the
In the very beginning,
longest
episode
story.
1.
Yeah, like it has
Yep.
it explains to you what is happening, and you're like, okay, now I don't need to watch the movie because you just told me what's happening.
I just need to read all of these in order from each of the movies. I'll just download each of them and I'll get a little cliff notes of Star Wars. There you go,
Yeah.
guys. If you need the cliff
That's
notes of
all
Star
you
Wars,
need.
just download the beginning.
That's all you
Actually,
that
I'm
to
curious if that
Josh.
would give us enough information. I really want to Google them. I really want to Google them and have him read them and see if it gives us a good like cliff notes of Star Wars.
You should.
That's actually
You should
genius.
be like, and there you
That
go.
is genius.
Now we don't need to watch the movies.
There you go. Now we've seen Star Wars. Now we've read Star Wars. All right. So last one. And this one I figured would be a popular one. Bluey.
No! Don't you ruin this for
there
me.
are conspiracy theories about Bluey.
Don't you ruin it.
There are many conspiracy theories about Bluey. So the
I'm
first
so
one.
mad at you right now.
So the reason they do so much laundry but don't wear clothes is that the dogs were bred as a subservient race, and even though they overthrew and killed all humans, they still performed the dogs they were made to do in a sort of biological programming kind of situation.
Oh.
So basically these dogs are like smarter, kind of like Planet of the Apes, killed all the humans, but like are still stuck with all like the normal daily routines and tasks. But like it's true, like they do all this laundry in the show and they show all this laundry, but no one ever wears clothes. Maybe a hat.
Sometimes a necklace or little
Sometimes a
gloves.
necklace or gloves. All right. So the next one is about Grandpa Bob. So Grandpa Bob has a second family and a set of second grandchildren. So if you watch the show, he kind of comes in and out every now and then. And
Mhm.
like in the wedding episode, the newest one, the one that's like 30 minutes long, he comes in and they're like, "Grandpa, where have you been?" And he was like, "I was out trying to find myself." And the grandma's like, "Yeah, he was gone for a really long time." And then that's it. And they just like left the scene and we're like, "What? What was that? What was that about?" So this is why he's occasionally around to Facey time, Floss, but also goes missing for Christmas holiday. Obviously, this is a sore subject. Bingo only knows to pray for him wherever you are. Nana and her sons know the situation, but Nana is too old and too lonely to object. She accepts the situation as the best she can get and doesn't rock the boat. There's also a theory
I like
saying
that
that
one.
he passed away. In the Floss episode, the girls don't acknowledge him and they only say thank you to Nana. The theory is that Bob is just Nana's and in Nana's head.
Oh.
So,
I
lastly,
like the
you're
first
gonna
one
like
more.
this one.
It's a little spicy.
Yeah, this one's a pretty good one too. So since and biologists, healers are job if they are actually smugglers. Jobs are the perfect setup for this. They can smuggle artifacts, expensive artifacts, and she can get them through airport security. They have a great house and they're in a great area. How do they have all this stuff? And how do they have all this time to spend with their family if they have these jobs?
I
Crime.
what? I
said crime.
I appreciate you not actually ruining Bluey for me because I was worried that you were gonna like.
There wasn't anything too harmful about Bluey. I couldn't really get to anything too. People just love Bluey so fucking much. I do too, though.
I know.
So,
I love Bluey.
And I feel like people just don't want to ruin Bluey. So right now, there's not any dark conspiracy theories. It's just that
Thankfully.
they're some smugglers and Grandpa's dead or
That's
has a second
fine.
family.
I like the second
pretty
family
messed
one.
up.
That one's spicy.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
And that's all I got. That is
I
all
love
the
it.
conspiracy. Thank you. You're welcome. Childhood ruined.
That was fun.
Avada Kedavra.
Okay. Can I share with you mine? My story?
I guess.
Okay.
I guess.
I'm gonna start off
I'll
by
let you.
playing something for you though. Okay. I gotta make sure it's turned it up.
Turned it up.
Turned it. Can you hear it?
Turned it up.
It's kind of blurry. It's better. Question.
Love this one.
What kind of bear is best? That's a ridiculous question. False. Black bear. Now that's debatable. There are basically two schools of thought. Fact. Bears eat beets. Bears beets. Battlestar Galactica. Bears
Battlestar Galactica.
What is going on? What are you doing? Last week, I was in a drugstore and I saw these glasses, $4. And it only cost me $7 to recreate the rest of the ensemble, and that's a grand total of $11. You know what? Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery, so I thank you. Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Millions of families suffer every year. Michael!
Michael!
Oh, that's funny. Michael!
So
This is my favorite cold open. that one and the one where Pam is Pam has a new husband and a new family.
yes, I love that one.
Those are my two favorite cold openings. And obviously the fire one anyway.
Yes, the fire one's good too. So, just to reiterate what Dwight Schrute said, jail time or the punishment for identity theft depends on the state and federal laws that apply, as well as the details of the case. Penalties can include jail time. A misdemeanor identity theft can result in up to 1 year in jail, while a felony identity theft can result in several years or more in jail. Federal identity theft can result up to 30 years in prison. So the average fine for identity theft, a misdemeanor identity theft fines can be up to $1,000, while felony identity theft can be over $5,000. And then obviously the courts will go in for restitution, which courts can often order the defendant to pay restitution to the victim of to compensate for their losses. So, for this Patreon episode, I am going to share with you a few people that have pretended to be who they are not. So,
Oh, okay.
So
I was wondering where your question was going with this.
So first, there was the beer thief. In 2016, Darius Williams, he was 22, was wanted for 4 counts of property theft for allegedly showing up to several stores posing as the delivery driver, stacking cases of beer and soda on a cart, and then wheeling the carts out of the store, according to the Central Alabama Crime Stoppers. Instead of
Alabama! I was going to guess Florida.
Instead of restocking shelves, he allegedly unloaded the stolen beverages into his vehicle and then taking off. And unfortunately, he has been he has done this to multiple stores. So then
that's so much money.
So much money. So there's the old grannies. In July of 2020, there were multiple accounts on TikTok of teenagers dressing up as grandmas in baggy cardigans, sandals, scarves, and masks. They also had a combination of makeup, Halloween masks, and hats to disguise themselves as old grandmothers. Why? To disguise themselves as well over the age limit to purchase alcohol. In one video posted by the user Claire18, a group of girls is seen dancing and dressing up their friend in a rubber mask, wig, and glasses, and they head to the 7-Eleven. She even filmed herself waddling in as a convincing old woman style with a bag full of booze back to her car.
Oh, shit.
I don't know why you would post that on TikTok. That's stupid.
Yeah. So they were underage?
They were underage, yeah. So then there's AOL Squatter. And I took this one straight from Huntington Post. Like, it was just, I don't know. I was like, the way I word it, it would sound like I'm stealing this anyway. So I just copied and pasted it. So the founder, like the founders of most young companies, Eric Simon started with an idea. In a post on the website of Class Connect, a business started by a 20-year-old entrepreneur, Eric noted that because students learned better using videos and websites, he could make education more engaging for students and more organized for teachers by giving students the best possible content and letting them work collaboratively using web tools. So it's just basically a website for kids to collaborate on school projects together. So he created this website. Pretty cool. So, and it's still in Yeah, so the college native moved to Silicon Valley soon after high school and quickly sunk all of his time and energy and money into the website Class Connect, which realized his vision through the creation of easily shareable online lesson plans. He was accepted into the first class of Image K-12, a tech incubator for companies working in education at the AOL Palo Alto's campus. So they're like, hey, we like what you're doing. Come work with us at AOL. So the entry into the 4-month incubator program came with a $20,000 in capital. So he had to pay $20,000. Simon he made great connections and learning a lot about the fast-paced world of tech startups. There was only one problem. By the time the program finished, the money was all gone. Oh, sorry. He got $20,000. He didn't have to pay it. So by the time the program was over, all his $20,000 was gone. So he was
gosh.
oh no, all of Simon's partners had gone back to college, and the Class Connect founder now suddenly had no place to live. So what did he do? He was like, well, I still have a badge to AOL. So he just simply moved in to AOL's campus. It's hard to blame Simon for wanting to spend virtually all of his time inside of AOL Swink Silicon Valley Digs, designed by the San Francisco studio O+A. It was recently named by no one cares about any of that. So more important to Simon than the complex's open floor plan and rustic oriented standboard accents was that it contained everything that he needed to survive and have enough non-AOL employees constantly flowing in and out that he was likely to be detected. Also, it was free. He said they had a gym. There with showers. I'd take a shower after work. I was like, I could totally work here. They have food upstairs. They even have every drink on tap. This would be a sweet place to live. Simon managed to live out of the office for 2 months, storing all of his personal belongings in an on-campus gym locker. During his first month, he only spent a total of $30. The security guys would walk by and just assume I was working late, which technically I was. They thought he's just working really hard and taking a nap before he goes back to work again. Eventually, one security guard got wise to his scheme and woke the entrepreneur during an early morning slumber. He was stripped of his security badge and forced to move out. However, soon after leaving AOL, Simon secured a $50,000 in funding for his website. So, teach their own. And I did look up the Class Connect. The Class Connect is still a website. So, good for him.
Okay.
So, this one
that's really cool. I mean,
yeah.
Did he get in trouble?
No, sorry. I kind of skipped all over that because it was kind of boring, but AOL was just like, we applaud him for his initiative or whatever. So this one I called For the Love of Chicken. The 27-year-old University of Zwalulu student, I don't know. He was arrested for fooling KFC employees around Durban, South Africa, into thinking he was sent from the KFC headquarters for quality assurance. He was so convincing that it took them almost 2 years to realize that he was robbing from them. A KFC staffer said, when he arrived, we all tried to act our best so we didn't piss off the man from head office. So he was so convincing because he was so confident, and even colleagues from other KFCs know him. The man would arrive in a limousine driven by his friend, smartly
What?
dressed. I know, with smartly dressed with a name tag labeled "Head Office," which I would know right away. Like, that's not.
Yeah, right.
No.
Boss. Okay.
So the anxious KFC
That's
workers.
clearly a guy in charge.
The anxious KFC workers would be at his beck and call, giving in to all of his demands with no suspicion whatsoever. They said when he comes in, he rushes to the kitchen and checks everything, takes notes, and then asks for samples of whatever he wants. He probably worked for KFC before because he knows everything, said one of the employees. So he just tricked them into getting free
But why did he do it?
KFC.
Just to get free food?
Yeah, for 2 years.
2 years. Oh my god.
So this one I named Mystery Woman. And this is just an article from a newspaper, like a newspaper clipping. It says, Missing
Okay.
Woman, Mystery Solved. A group of tourists spent hours Saturday night looking for a missing woman near Iceland's Eldorado something canyon, only to find her among the search party. The group was traveling through Iceland on a tour bus and stopped near a volcanic canyon. Soon there was word of a missing passenger. The woman, who had changed clothes, didn't recognize the description of her own self and joined the search party. But the search was called off
She's
about
got kids.
But the search party was called off at about 3 a.m. when it became clear that the missing woman was in fact accounted for and searching for herself.
That would be me. Who has seen Brie? Where is Brie?
Who?
Seriously, guys. She's got brown eyes, brown hair. She's short. Like you can't miss her. She does not shut up. Like you cannot miss her. She's got to be around here somewhere. Oh shit! Damn it! Oh, how embarrassing!
So
Oh my god, she's
embarrassing.
definitely a mom. She is absolutely a mom who misplaces shit all the time, and it's like in her hand.
The other day I was looking for my phone and I was talking on it. I'm not even joking. That actually happened to me.
I feel like that's like a habit because it's like I need to check the time, or like I need to habit like out of habit I need to check Facebook or like TikTok or something. And
Yeah.
I've done that too before, and it's like, damn it, where the heck is my phone at? You're on it.
Yeah. I was like,
Oh, that's
I'm one of those
awesome.
like posts that people talk about. Okay. So I named this
Cool.
one I named this one Thick as Thieves. It's from Reddit. So many years ago, my boss was working at this museum and they had these original Churchill documents on display. These documents were worth millions of dollars. The only thing separating the public from these documents was a sheet of glass secured with 4 Phillips head screws. Seriously, no security
okay.
guards in the room, no cameras, just easily removable piece of glass. My boss pointed this out to the security my boss pointed out the security concern, but she wasn't taken seriously. So she took matters into her own hands. She bought a ticket and pretended to be a guest. She entered through the main entrance with a huge drill clearly visible on her belt. She went straight to the documents and opened up the case with the drill while wearing gloves. She removed the documents, put them in a folder, reattached the glass, and walked out the main exit. Literally, no one questioned her. She immediately went around to the back of the museum, introducing the staff entrance, and went straight to her boss's office. She dropped the folders on her desk and said, "I just stole these in 15 minutes."
Oh my gosh. Good point. Like, good for you for
Mhm.
making like she made her point.
Yes, she
I
did.
bet you they got more strict security after that.
I would hope so.
That's
So
crazy.
I named this one I'm Just a Hungry Man. It's from Twitter. So in 2018, the current prime minister of Morocco in Sadine something or in 2018, the current prime minister of Morocco is Sadine Othamani. He is a 61-year-old career politician who was appointed to his post the previous March. A Twitter user named @ihab is currently in Russia for the World Cup, but so is an estimated of 2.4 million other soccer supporters. He said that when his dad called the restaurant called the Godman Steakhouse for a reservation, he was told that the joint was fully booked. Several minutes later, he called back and claimed to be the Prime Minister of Morocco. And surprise, a table was suddenly available.
Oh,
He
of
said we
course.
got he said we got the best table in the place. And the chef asked the dad to sign a plate and to take a picture with him. In his tweet, he included a video which showed his dad writing something that looked like PM Morocco, standing for Prime Minister Morocco, on a giant piece of dinnerware before shaking hands with a member of the kitchen staff and posing for a photo. The IHAB hasn't shared any additional details about his dad's finies, but there is a definite divide in his replies, his Twitter replies. Some commenters believe that his dad should be celebrated as a genius and that he clearly, is being applauded for anyone that would pretend to be the head of state. Or, sorry, some also were appalled that he would pretend to be anyone, including the head of state of Morocco, to get a
Right?
dinner reservation. But whatever.
Like
Just whatever. Others pointed out that the dad looked absolutely nothing like the current prime minister, but does bear a slight resemblance of a former one. So whatever. So I named this one YouTube is Your Best Friend. So it says, I got this from Reddit. It says, got a job. Shortly after I got engaged, I realized that the job I had was going to keep me away from my future wife way too much. So I started looking for a new job. I ran across an ad for a band director in a little town north of Houston. I had a small music studio of a piano and guitar and guitar students since I was 13. So I figured it couldn't be all that bad. I applied and got
It
an
does
interview.
not sound very qualifying.
No, a band director for a school,
Yeah.
and he taught piano. And anyways,
I used to slap the bass.
he said I applied and got an interview pretty quickly. I'm decent at interviews and had them pretty well convinced that I was the guy for the job. Problem was, I've never been in any kind of marching or concert band. So when I got the final set of questions, they started asking me some very specific questions relating to how I would run the program. Most of which I had no idea what they were talking about. Instead of panicking, I asked them what the previous director had done. They went on and on about how amazing of a job that he had done with teaching military style marching band. Once again, I had no idea what they meant. With as much enthusiasm as I could muster, I told them, that's a program I can get behind. They ended up offering me the job just a few minutes later. I bought a bunch of marching band books online and learned as much as I could over the next few weeks before school started. I ended up being it ended up being a great experience. I taught for 2 years and tripled the size of the program, all because I acted like I knew what I was doing in the interview. And that is a great example of faking it till
Wow.
you make it. I just have a couple more.
Yeah, no kidding. That is.
So this one is a job is okay, city. Oh, sorry, I labeled it a job is a job, Oakland City, Facebook. So this is a Facebook post from the Oakland City Police Department. It says, so this thief is a little bit different. This man walked into a convenience store near Britton and Broadway and was able to convince the store clerk that he was there to take over the shift for her. He was even wearing a shirt with the store logo on it. Once behind the register, he continued checking out customers for several minutes before ultimately locking the door, stealing all of the money and lottery tickets, and fleeing the business. Suspect was seen driving a blue mid-90s Chevy Suburban.
At least he helped out at first.
Yeah, I would.
That was pretty decent. I mean, what criminals and robbers are going to be like? Hey, let me help you take over and help bag some of these groceries, and go take a bathroom break. You're good.
Okay, so I have
take a
one. I have one more, and I honestly thought about doing a whole story on these guys, but I decided not to. So it is a little bit long, but this will be my last one. So I called this one "Fake It Until You Make It Out." So a small group of Sri Lankan men, Sri Lankan men.
Sri Lankan? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Sri Lankan. Formed a handball team as part of the sports exchange program. The purpose of the Asian German Sports Exchange Program, aka AGSEP, was to introduce Sri Lankans to other cultures through sports. In 2003, the founder Dimir Doring of the exchange group received a call from someone in the Sri Lankan sports ministry about setting up an expedition match between the German and Sri Lankan's national handball teams. The exchange program helped set up hundreds of matches between German and Sri Lankan teams in several different sports since 1989. So the founder only found it slightly odd that the members showed up for their photo shoot for the match wearing suits. So he was like, yeah, we can definitely set this up. And so the guys showed up and they're wearing suits. And he's like, normally the team members show up in like gym shorts and a shirt, but whatever. So the sports ministry hired a handball coach to prepare the 23 men for the game. And none of the team members had any previous experience playing handball. So practices were held a few times a week to teach the basics of the game. The team was overmatched.
1 second. All I can picture is Barney Stinson in a suit trying to play a game that he doesn't know how to play.
So the first game, the team was overmatched when they faced the German national team. The German team won 36-2. Although the Sri Lankan team was clearly overmatched, the founder and the German national team officials invited them to participate in a 2-week-long handball tournament in Germany. So the exchange program group arranged for each member to receive a visa. And in September of 2004, the men arrived in Germany. The Sri Lankan team was scheduled to play 10 games during this tournament. Upon their arrival in Germany, the Sri Lankan players did some sightseeing and had dinner with some German handball players. After the first game of the tournament, why can't I say it now? Tournament. The
Tournament.
Tournament. The team spent the evening celebrating with their hosts. So, like, they were celebrating with other German members. Although the Sherlocken team got shut out of the tournament first game, the Germans had sympathy on them as they remember how their first few years of handball was in the early 1900s. So they were literally like, I remember my first beer. So
Wait, in the early
that
1900s? Wait, what?
well, obviously not them, but
Okay. They're like,
like
I remember 1,000 years ago.
1,000
That was
years ago. So that night, the two teams had dinner together. They had dinner together once more, singing and celebrating as a group. What the German host didn't know, however, was that the Sherlockens had a secret. At 5 a.m. on September 13th, 2004, the entire Sherlockens national handball team snuck out of their hotel in Germany. They broke off into groups of 2 or 4, all going their separate ways, never speaking again. Later that day, the exchange program member, like an intern that worked for the exchange program, walked into the founder's office in Sherlocken. And he was like, the team is missing. They initially thought that the team had got lost in nearby woods while jogging. However, later they found a note claiming the 23-man team was headed to France, and the organization expected they would cross over to Italy. So the Sherlocken Sports Ministry said the team never existed and that its formation was a mystery.
What?
Numerous media, so like these guys just like were like, oh yeah,
Vanished.
we're a handball team, and the founder was like, oh okay, sure, and like funded everything for them. So numerous media outlets reached out to the Sherlocken Sports Ministry to get the organization's reaction to the handball team's disappearance. The ministry shared that not only had they not authorized the trip to the tournament, but the organization was unaware of how the handball team was even formed, as Sherlocken Olympic Association president Hemasuri Fernando told reporters handball was not a popular sport in the country. The founder insisted, however, a director of the sports ministry knew, and he claimed an official at the ministry was responsible for connecting the ministry with, I don't know how to pronounce that in the first place, one of the members in the first place. Like, he was like, this guy
Gotcha.
talked to this guy and this is how it was formed. And everyone else was like, nope, that's not what happened. But shortly after the team's disappearance in Germany, the German embassy and Sherlocken retroactively canceled the visas of all 23 members, so their visas were revoked. The
Couldn't
men
go
were
anywhere.
also they were also charged with violating immigration laws. Senior prosecutor Thomas Wadeth told the media that these actions were taken after the Sherlocken Ministry of Sports confirmed that German officials believed that the handball team was fake. As part of the investigation, German officials contacted the Sherlocken embassy in Berlin in an attempt to gain more information about the men who had disappeared. Meanwhile, back in Sherlocka, police questioned the players' family members. The founder told reporters the players' family members were facing terrible financial consequences since the men had pawned off all their assets in return for guarantees as much as 4,700 euros, which is approximately $4,500 or $5,400 per person in order to fund their plan. So The Sherlockian handball team planned their disappearance far in advance of the actual execution. The founder believed one of the members came up with the actual plan to form the fake team in order to obtain legal visas for the men to leave Sherlocka. Back in 2002, one of the members received a phone call from his older brother who lived in Italy. His brother told him that there was a plan. He had a plan to get him a visa so he could come to Italy, which boasts a large Sherlockian ex parte population, but that plan would cost $4,000 and require him to learn how to play handball. So his older brother told him how to do it. That same year, another member received a call from an old friend who had a similar plan for the 23-year-old to legally join his relatives in Italy. His friend asked him, "Have you heard of the game handball?" So those two got together. They came up with this plan of how they were going to form this team to leave Sherlocka. Within 10 years of their disappearance, most of the team members had returned to Sherlocka. More than half of the team members returned to Sherlocka within 10 years of that disappearance. The German embassy blacklisted the exchange program from participating in future sporting events. In the aftermath of the incident, the German embassy banned AGSEP from participating in any future events in the country and refused to issue any more visas for the Sherlocka team. So this team literally didn't exist. They formed this team, got funded by this group, and so that this group could issue them visas so that they could leave their country. That's pretty smart.
I mean, smart, but it didn't work. So clearly not smart enough.
It would have worked if they didn't return back to Sherlocka.
True.
What a bunch of dummies.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Barney Stinson.
That's all I got for you.
Oh, that was good. That was funny. Those are good. I like these Patreon episodes. They're kind of fun. So
they are fun.
It's a little bit of it's a nice change.
It is
different kinds of stories. I don't know.
Yeah.
And
it's not. There's not a lot of pressure.
They're more laid
either.
back.
Yeah. Less pressure.
Yeah, I like them.
What's your neighborhood story?
We're being watched from billions of users.
Millions of people.
Billions of people. Billions. All right. So this one is a text thread between neighbors, and it starts out with, "Hey, did I just see you outside with a pig?" "Yes, she's our pet." Smiley face. "You can't seriously think it's a good idea to have a smelly, disgusting pig in our building, can you?"
Excuse you?
Given some of the men we've seen you bring home at 2 a.m., I'm not sure I get the point.
Oh,
they just gave it right back. They just took your dish, they put some whipped cream on it and some cherries, and they're like, "Here you go, right back at you, buddy. You just got served. I'll bring whatever pig I want."
Of bacon.
Did I tell you?
You
I got to. Oh my God! Shout out. Well, I'll have to shout them out on an actual episode. But for if this ever goes up, shout out to the Sasquatch Acres Farm Animal Refuge that they have here, and it's not in Panama City, but it's outside of Panama City. They're outside of Tractor Supply. They're really cool people. The woman running it, she's a full-time freaking cop. Her husband is Air Force. They have a little baby. They've got like all these like animals that either are injured or have problems with them or that no one can take. Like they have a goat that got like his horns chopped off and like the wrong way, and so they like took him in. I know, he was so cute. And then they had like mini goats, they had a pony, and then Amy, I think I told you, but I like It was a miniature dream animal. I want one so bad, but I got to hold it and I loved it so much. But anyway,
just
shout
love
out to
that for
them.
you.
They were really cool. I could have sat there and talked to them forever. They were really nice, good people. Whenever we have an actual episode, I'm gonna make sure I share more about them and like share like their Venmo or something. So if anybody wants to donate to them, but they're very good
I
people.
love that.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's I think that's all we got
That's all we have.
for today.
It is.
That's all we
it's a
got today,
Monday.
guys.
Yeah, I gotta go
It's a
eat.
freaking Monday. I gotta go
Dinner?
to bed.
Bree's gotta go to bed.
I'm tired.
All right.
I'm so tired.
Well, I love you.
Yet? I'm so tired.
Not yet. I cooked it
It's
though.
like 10 o'clock.
So.
I love you too,
Oof,
buddy.
all right.
Love you guys. I love you, neighbors.
I love you, neighbors.
Thanks for your support. Oh,
And have
yeah.
you checked in on the neighbors?
What's with the neighbors?
Bree and Amy.
out.
Oh. Don't put that in there. That's so embarrassing.
It's live.
Take it out.
I
delete that.
hope someone went and got into a Patreon membership just so they could see that. That's awesome. That was a good
Delete
burp. Meow. Don't get dead.
Bye.